and drink.
That's where all the students are anyway.
I want to know what Snatch. I'm part of Snatch, and I think we should start a Snatch out there in the Braunfels and San Marcos.
You're right.
Somehow.
You're right. You know, this is a good platform for my organization, Snatch, stopping negative Austinites through cocktaffedness. And really, I mean that phrase to encompass the world. Stopping negative anyone's through cocktaffedness.
A texter pointed out that it could be stopping no alcohol through Comel Haven.
Thanks for calling in, Bo. Hello, Randy.
Hey, Charlie, how you doing?
All right.
I think we need to challenge them to go ahead and follow through with their logic. If they're going to ban disposable stuff on the river, when we go, I see hats and glasses and shirts and shoes. They ought to just go ahead and ban clothing, and then we could all enjoy a natural river.
We got a horn dog trying to flip this situation around so you can see some boobies. Yeah, you see what we got to do is
it's
a legal thing.
Your shirt. What?
I'll go ahead and hang up and listen, guys.
Thanks, man.
If I'm going to pay more taxes, then upskirt shots are legal, right? Who's with me? Pay more, but we can upskirt.
Don't tell me I can't put my finger there. That's what I want to do.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Charlie. I could be wrong, but the other caller was correct in that the council only has control over the rivers inside the city limits. Anything from Canyon Lake down, you can do whatever you want.
And they technically can't ban alcohol, and that's why they keep wording it with all these different proposals and legal measures, like no mass consumption drinking equipment, kegs, no 2.5 ounce or less Containers.
Jello shots.
Which a man said it's virtually impossible to get a ticket for having a child's juice box that's that small. It's all for Jello shots. And now, instead of saying beer, they've said disposable food and drink containers.
Right.
Those rat bastards.
One other thing is about the collecting of the fee.
The collecting of the fee.
They can collect it as long as you don't bring your own tube. If you bring your own tube, they don't collect it.
Well, yeah, but the majority of people that go do rent a tube, and so there's tons of money. I mean, there's tons of money in that fund.
Well, I live outside in New Braunfels, and I'm office in there every day, go through there, and you would not believe the amount of people that have their own tubes.
Well, look out. They may ban something about driving to work. Well, if tires are disposable. If you use disposable tires, you can't come to town. Next thing you know, it's going to be one old man sitting there with a stick, waving it at everybody. Get out of my town. Braunfels is my land. Me. If you haven't heard, New Braunfels did ban disposable food and drink containers. The city council voted 5-1 in favor of the ban on Monday. It will take effect January 1st. So drink it up. And if I were the companies that rent the tubes, I would start charging $2 for a $2 fee, and don't give any of it to New Braunfels. Give it all to your poor employees that are going to have to make it unemployed and feed their babies dead birds. Shit. That's what's going to happen. Everyone that works on the river, kids are going to be eating dead birds.
Enjoy those dead birds, babies.
Hey, remember how everyone in New Braunfels had to eat dead birds, Matt?
Yes, I do.
Well, that's what caused the big bird flu outbreak. Huh. Hope you're happy, New Braunfels.
Way to go, Gail Pospisil.
Yeah, you outlaw disposable food and drink containers. Now we're all dead from bird flu. That's nice. Appreciate it.
Have you driven to New Braunfels? It's actually a nice city.
It's very
the
nice.
Streets are nice.
They got green there,
well
Green
maintained.
Hall.
It's a beautiful place to go. And a lot of that comes from the taxes that come off the beer sales, the river sales, the tube sales, all that. It's taxes, local taxes in the local economy. It's a good thing.
And the tubers also shop. They go to Green Hall and all that. I mean, what's going to happen to all those places? There's just less reason to go.
Exactly.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Short-sighted.
We'll find out.
Draconian legislation.
It is. Is draconian, is that like Dracula?
Yes. Yes, they're sucking
suck
the
your blood
out of the
Is
city.
that really what that means?
No.
Oh. What is draconian?
Draconian means more severe than it needs to be.
Was there a guy named Draco or something?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was. I'll look it up for you.
Okay.
Draconian means just way more like, I don't like the way you're looking at me, so you have to wear a blindfold whenever we're in the room. At all times, you have to wear a blindfold.
So like Sylvester Stallone. No one's allowed to look at him?
Yes.
Stallonian rules?
That's right.
New Braunfels has imposed Stallonian legislation.
Yo, Adrienne. They did it.
One more call.
let's
I
do
can
one more.
tell my gut's saying, you shouldn't have done it, Charlie. You should have jingled out. Should have gone
That
to
was
the
your closer.
song.
That was your closer.
We're going with this guy. Hey there. All my hopes and dreams are in you, sir.
Now for my favorite part of the show. What'd I say? Talk to the audience? Oh, God, this is always death.
It's the Charlie Hodge Rock and Roll Halftime Show on 93.7 KLBJ FM, Austin, Texas. We've been taking calls at 973-8300, but we've also got a bunch of texts coming in about the beer ban in New Braunfels. Let's see what people are writing about. Charlie, chicken is a dead bird. All right, so when I say everyone's going to be eating dead birds, all right, I'm thinking grackles and sparrows, not chicken. Anyway, another man writes, Jack and Coke and a Camelback. That's legal on the river. All right, and there's a loophole. Got another texter. Got a problem with the city council voting for the container ban. Quit talking and do something. Go vote, dude.
Well,
You
don't live in
can't.
New Braunfels.
I don't live in New Braunfels. And all the employees that lost their jobs, most of them commute to work.
And this wasn't put to the vote of the city.
No,
people
it's
of
the
the
city
of New Braunfels. It's the city
council.
council, 6 people.
City council voted. So I guess what he's saying is Austin, when the next elections come up in New Braunfels, Austin needs to vote for... No, you can't do that. You can't vote for city council members in New Braunfels when you live in Austin. Well, maybe if you live in San Marcos, nope, can't vote for New Braunfels city council members in San Marcos either. Huh.
Someone else texted, listen to the show. I live on the Como River in New Braunfels, but can't get through. They have pulled more than 500,000 empty beer cans out of the river so far this summer. Okay?
Well, it sounds like they pulled them out.
Right.
They're out.
Sounds like the $1.25 per tube tax is going
That's
where it's
what I'm
supposed to
talking
go.
about. Everyone who rents a tube pays $1.25. They have $900,000 in a fund that covers security and cleanup. And if they pulled 500,000 cans out, it sounds like the money's being used well.
Yeah. You can't have it both ways. You can't have the tourism dollars and, not the fallout from it. There's going to be trash.
You know what right now is not in the river? 500,000 cans.
That's right. They're out. They've been pulled out.
Were they put there by people that rented tubes and left them there? Yes. But then they were removed with money paid by the people who left them there.
Or use that money to up the enforcement on the river. And if you see
I
somebody
know.
littering, fine them for that. But you can't have the tourism dollars
No, you
without
can't.
the fallout. You know?
You can't. Anyway, let's take a couple more calls, then we'll move on, maybe. See if it picks back up. I feel like we're beating a dead horse at this
Okay.
point.
Hey, a lot of people put that down, by the way. Have you ever beaten a dead horse? It's pretty fun.
No, I've never even tried.
I can do it for hours.
Huh.
Horse
Is that-
already dead. He doesn't mind.
That makes me curious. Nowadays, like a student council or a booster club will raise money by having an old car that you can beat up. It's like, come on, take out your frustrations. But before cars, is that how they raised money in the old days?
I think yes.
Hey, stop on by and beat this dead horse.
I'm going to guess so.
For 1 penny per ticket, you can take a whack at a dead horse. I feel like a complete a-hole. I've never even tried that.
But he knocks it.
I lambast dead horse beating, and I use it as a cliche, but I've never tried it.
My buddy Tommy said, he says it's not my first rodeo. He goes, I went to a rodeo for the first time. Really wasn't that hard to figure out. I picked it up pretty quickly.
This is my second rodeo.
Get on the horse, ride it. I get it. Okay, yeah. It's not that hard.
What's your favorite memory of the river? I mean, you grew up in New Braunfels for a decent part of your life, and I mean, are you someone that lived there but never went tubing?
No, I never really lived there. Like, my mom lived there my mom moved there after I graduated high school. And so, but I would go down there, with my friends. We would get on the river, and I would get on. I remember I had this bandana around me. I had this cool hat that I had, the sunglasses, the whole thing, and I had a beer in my hand. I was all excited to get in the tube. And the first rapids we hit, just everything falls off of me. I lose everything, lose my beer.
This ain't my first tubing trip. That's what the phrase ought to be.
That's exactly right.
Because you're going to run into some trouble.
You're going to get confused and lose your beer.
Say you're wearing a hat with a drawstring all tightened up, and you got a koozie around your neck
As I'm
attached.
wont to do.
It's like, well, obviously this ain't my first tubing trip. I know what's going to happen at them rapids. Don't you look at me like I'm an idiot. Don't you look at me like I'm an idiot.
Then it was somewhere down past the tube chute where there was an eddy. Like there's
what?
a swirl. The tube chute. You don't know the tube chute?
Just keep saying tube chute.
Tube chute.
Has Pujols ever gone down the tube
I
chute?
don't know if tube...
Has Albert Pujols ever gone down the tube chute?
You almost made me switch that up in a horrible, horrible, non-FCC friendly way.
This just in, Albert Pujols in New Braunfels enjoys the tube chute.
The tube chute is awesome. It's where they built this concrete, where they squeeze it together and all the water just shoots out and shoots you out there. Almost drowned. I got caught in an underwater eddy, and some people had to pull me up out of it. Almost drowned. It was scary as hell.
And that's your favorite memory.
Well,
Well, I haven't seen any reports of major damage or anything. The only thing being reported is that a 5.9 or 6.0 earthquake hit Virginia and could be felt all the way up to Boston and all the way down to Florida. They evacuated the White House and the Pentagon. And what does that mean, a 6.0? Chicken wing, I've never been in an earthquake, but you have.
yeah.
Like, what's the biggest, just so I can have an idea what the
10.
scale is? So it goes up to 10?
I believe it goes up to 10. It might go to 10.5.
So is a 6, I mean,
6 is pretty
what's
severe.
the severity of that?
6, depending, I mean, like, when I was living in Japan, Japan has a lot of buildings that are built to withstand earthquakes.
Sure,
In
they're
anticipation of it. Virginia, the Eastern Seaboard, I've never even heard of an earthquake up there. I'm sure it's happened, but I've never heard of it. And so it's happened so rarely that I don't think anybody builds for it. So you're going to have, I had a pretty good one in Japan when I was living there.
You were in it?
Yeah. I was on a bus, so I really didn't feel
You're
anything.
on a bus?
I was on a bus. And it's, when you're, the air tires, you don't feel anything
suspension.
So much. But when I got to my house, dishes had fallen down off the shelves on the floor. There was stuff spilled everywhere.
Looked like Bobby and Whitney had been in there fighting.
It did look like that. It did
Is there
look
an
like that.
earthquake, or did Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston fight in my kitchen? I got a question. That's it. Well,
It's serious, too, when you turn on CNN and there's Wolf Blitzer is not only reporting on camera, but he's got a phone to his ear.
Phone.
He's on the phone while he's reporting, so that's breaking news.
Stuff like this, in a roundabout way, is what really hacks me off, that we spend any time worrying about the Kardashians or whatnot. Because speaking of earthquakes, have you read this or heard anything about this? Arkansas has been having hundreds and hundreds of earthquakes almost on a daily basis in parts of Arkansas. They're not very strong.
Yeah,
they're mild,
tiny
but
ones.
they're just and they do not have a history of this. It just started. And the earth is moving and shaking under Arkansas. And it's like, I don't know what story is there, but we don't even seem to be looking. I mean, what's going on?
That's a weird little state.
Yeah, it is a weird
Arkansas.
little state.
That's a weird little state.
Do you think the politics of Arkansas are what caused the earthquakes?
I wouldn't put it past Arkansas, I'll tell you, Charlie. I would not put it past.
The get-her-doneness of Arkansas caused all the earthquakes?
Oh, Larry the Cable Guy sells so much merch in gas stations in the state of Arkansas.
I'll bet. That guy. I mean, he may hate having to put on that sleeveless shirt and play that character.
He might.
Day in and day out, but you and I play characters all the time, and neither one of us makes $60 million a year.
No.
You know how much I've gotten
will we
paid
ever.
for doing Whataburger Guy?
How much?
Well, that's a big fat goose egg. Away. Anyway, our old topic we were taking calls on was the beer ban in New Braunfels. And since we don't really have anything else to report on this earthquake until details flow forth, let's take a couple more calls on the beer ban. Hey there, Sarah Beth.
Hey.
Ooh, a lady.
Charlie and Hodge.
Got that right.
I almost don't even want to talk about what we're talking about, the beer ban
Yeah.
now, because of that news. But a good thing about Virginia is that's like really old architecture.
That's a
for
good
the
thing?
United States, yeah.
You think that would fall down easily, though?
No, not necessarily, because it's more solid brick composition.
Are you a member of a family that's has lineage back to brick making in Virginia?
No, I was an interior design student for a little while.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, all right. So that's good. In your opinion, old architecture could be a plus.
It could be a plus.
Okay.
It could be a minus if they don't have if they don't reset the more.
I feel like we're back to square one, Sarah Beth.